Woo!
Well, that was a cool intro.
That was so cool. Truthfully, last night, when you first sent that to me, my girls were like, "Ooh, it looks like a movie, Mama." So on the big screen, it very much looks like a movie intro.
That was the movie trailer. Awesome, awesome, awesome for, for the Career Accelerator Planner. So, folks, I see some folks tuning in. Appreciate you. Let me just confirm, this is not Career Talks podcast. For those who are on the feed, this is something completely different. Hopefully, you stay tuned and join us, both myself and Karen. But say hello, ask any questions. You can even ask, "What's this about?" Right? If you haven't seen, the flyers or anything from us. But I'll let Karen kick it off with introducing herself, and then I'll go from there.
Okay, well, we are here not just on your channel, Orlando, but also on mine, which is Incredible Technology is Awesome. And we're here for the launch of our Career Accelerator Planner. Yes.
Woo-woo.
We'll get
Awesome.
into sharing a little bit more about behind the scenes, but today it is available for sale. Orlando, can you drop
Yeah.
the link? Do you have it readily available to drop the link in the comments? Good evening.
Let's
Welcome,
see.
welcome. So, my name is Karen Turner. I am a leadership coach. This week, actually, I celebrated 6 months since leaving the corporate space. I have been a leadership coach for about 4 years now, in addition to my full time job. And I'm passionate about helping leaders, especially women leaders, women of color, kick their performance habit, which is why this planner is near and dear to my heart, and focus on building influence and increasing their visibility and helping them to gain momentum in their careers. And we first have to, though, kick that performance habit so that you can eliminate overwhelm. Because once we eliminate overwhelm, it opens the door to so many other opportunities. That's a little bit about me and my background.
Awesome. So, Orlando Haynes, been in talent acquisition for about 20 years now. Has had the privilege of publishing 3 books around career development. Been doing podcasting for about 2 years now. Been in corporate America for about 25 years now. So my background's split between talent acquisition and staffing and recruiting agency background. So holistically, have a well-rounded background in this space. Know a lot the ins and outs. So I'm super excited just seeing when Karen and I partnered, seeing where the need was and for this planner, and we'll get into that. But I'm excited
Yes.
to launch this. Yeah, this is cool.
It is. It's incredible. Well, we've teased it. Why don't we share a little bit of the behind the scenes? Well, first, do you want to share or shall I share how we met in the first
Okay,
place?
ladies first. Go ahead. If not, I'll jump
Okay.
in.
Well, I did leave out years and dates and things like that. So in my bio, but I have worked in corporate for over 20 years, and most of that time has been spent in leadership positions. My expertise is operations, and through healthcare and also moving into digital startups for wellness companies. So that's been my focus. I'm a registered dietitian by trade, and that's where my career began in healthcare. Well, I have always had a passion in my heart to start a podcast. And so I joined a podcast group, like how to jumpstart your podcast, in October. And that is where I connected with Orlando.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So with that, who's that? Tyler. Hey, Tyler. What's
Yes. Hey,
going on,
Tyler.
sir? Joining from YouTube. Cool. Good deal. So yeah, we kicked it off. We know each other, right? In the
Yeah.
same program. You then reached to a group of us saying, "Hey, let's have kind of a little masterclass, but little accountability group."
Yes.
So it spawned Tyler, who's joining us, was a part of that group,
Yes.
and then
And thank you, Tyler, for already purchasing one.
yes, appreciate you, sir, appreciate you. And then fast forward, I had you on my podcast,
Yeah.
And with something you said in the middle of that interview, I was like, "Oh, light bulb," and I was like, "We'll talk after the broadcast."
Yes.
We'll put it out there during the broadcast.
Literally, yeah.
Went off. I was like, "Hold that thought. We're gonna talk." And that was
Yes.
back. That was a couple of months ago. I
That
can't.
was
I
more
don't
than
remember
a couple months
that
ago. It was last year,
day. Was
November.
it last year?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was
god,
last year,
I'm old.
November, or
I'm
yeah,
old.
November into December. Yes. So we started
So
the conversation last year after your podcast. And yeah, we just continued. We really picked up steam here in the last couple of months. So for sure, that part
mhm,
you have right. But you messaged and you said, I have a great idea for a journal. It was tagging on to my comment about accountability and how to track.
mhm,
And, you know, without teasing, there are definitely more journals along the way that will be coming because that is a personal passion of mine, but also to help each and every one of you move your careers forward as well. So this was, it started off with Orlando jumping off of something I said. And then we just went from there. We just started. It was pretty big at first. I remember one of our first templates that with the questions and everything, it was going to be an incredibly thick planner. And
yeah,
I realized I haven't showed it yet. And we've narrowed it down to what you have today. There we go. A beautiful, I mean, it's, I mean, I might be biased, but I think it's incredibly
yeah. That's okay.
high quality and beautiful. For those who are asking in the for the link, Orlando has shared it in the comments, so it's there, careeraccelerator.com. Careeracceleratorplanner.com is where you
Yep.
can go to purchase it. Um, so why did you think that this would be a good idea?
Yeah. So when it's kind of and I feel like I'm bragging. I'm not, but it's kind of a superpower. When I hear a title or a phrase or something that I think should be expanded on in a book or a podcast or something, further, that's what it was. When you said that, I was like tracking. I was like, yeah, most journals are kind of a mind dump on stuff that you're trying to get out. Hopefully it organizes you if there's calendars or whatever it has in there. So we have a portion of that in there, but what made it make sense was like, wow, I going through my career thinking if I would have kept track of the things that I've done, how much more valuable that information would have been at the time of crucial conversations. Right. So
Yeah.
I was like, is anyone doing that? So I researched, I saw something similar, but it was just more of just, hey, just get your stuff out of your head. And my goal in partnering with you and what you said was to be really focused on the contributions of your work and what you do on a month to month and just all the things that come up in a normal, career
Yeah.
projects, assignments, ad hoc duties, things like that we can put together.
Yeah, absolutely. And to answer your question, Tyler, it is a pre-order. So go
Yes.
ahead and get your orders in. We're looking to begin shipping hopefully in the next month and a half to 2 months, but we will keep you updated. Plus, we've got some incredible bonuses to keep you motivated along the way, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Well, when you told me about the idea and I had just gone through a very not painful because that's extra, but it was certainly a tedious task. That's the word. It was a tedious task. I had just finished working with an incredible resume writer, Melanie Denny, got me to who was asking me questions about things that I had done. And so I was able to list some pretty big milestones in my career with the work. And she was like, well, what was the return on investment? And
Hmm.
I couldn't get specific enough. And she was asking, like, well, what else? And I was like, I know there's more. And the things that I thought, the projects that I'd worked on, the things that I thought that I would always remember, I could not. I there was one initiative particularly when I worked with a hospital system, and I was leading it across all of the food and nutrition services department. It was a multi-month, almost a full year project leading to hundreds of
Hmm.
thousands of saved dollars. I said I would never forget that, and I absolutely forgot about it as a milestone in my career. So what did I end up doing? I have a bunch of journals here in my cabinet. I never throw them away. I went through, this was the tedious part. I went through each and every journal, each and every page, trying to
Hmm.
remember and recollect what I had done. And even when I did write about something that I was doing, it was in the process. And so I never actually wrote down what was the return on investment, what happened. And so, oh, thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
ordering.
Jr.
So I was just like, it resonated so much with me because I think that just that previous weekend I'd sat down right here in my office with all of my notebooks in front of me, and I was like, there has to be a better way. And we hear so many, and I've said it too, like, be sure to document, be sure to document. But
Right.
what do you document that's effective? And that's what I appreciated about us collaborating together is between the two of us, we have 40 plus years of experience in leadership. Me from a hiring perspective and interview perspective, also as a coach, and yourself as you shared across helping to recruit, hire, retain talent. We know the questions that are asked. I know what I'm looking for as a leader when I'm interviewing or looking at someone's resume. And so we took all of that knowledge, all of that experience, and curated questions that we know will help you move your career forward. So, I'll give a couple of examples here while I show the inside of the journal. So we've gone by initiative. So even just
Yeah.
describing what was the initiative. Let's see here. Yep. Describing what the initiative is, how many people. That was something that I couldn't remember the different departments that I collaborated with on a
Yeah.
particular project. And even if they're not directly involved in the project, are you having to work with another department to produce reports that you need or analyze data or vendors? So,
Yeah.
really being specific about what you are tracking.
Exactly. And I think what's cool, I'm gonna go back one step. You mentioned,
Yeah.
resume writing and things like that. This is super beneficial if you're a resume out there, and here's why: because you're having those initial conversations with folks and have them extract information that they just can't remember, and you're like, wait a minute, how come you don't have this on this resume? You did what?
Yeah.
You saved the
Yes.
company what? You
Yeah.
initiated what? That's what
Yeah.
the planner does, right? If they stick to it, and
Yeah.
there's a little tab we have in that tab, but a note that says, increases your discipline on noting and documenting all this stuff.
Hmm.
They literally can just hand this book over to you and say, "Here's everything that I've accomplished.
Yes.
Extract from that. Here's my existing CV resume, and you craft it out to be the best." That's so much easier, so much, streamlined for them to just have it all in one place. I mean, that's huge
Yeah.
versus a 2 hour, intro call documenting all that stuff. Like, you sure you can't remember? Well, back in 2003, you did. You don't know,
Yeah,
right? You don't know.
absolutely. No, you don't. And I certainly not to the level of detail of the questions that we have asked here. We have you documenting, pre-initiative, as I mentioned. We have a
Hmm.
page that is for post-initiative, what to document after you finished your project.
Yep.
And so things like what new relationships did you build? What challenges did you overcome? How, like, that should already be reminding you of interview
Yep.
questions that you have had. And so once you start documenting, the other part is once you start being disciplined and documenting and building a habit, you might not even need your book anymore because you will have been reading it and writing in it,
Hmm.
reading it and writing in it, so that no one will ever catch you off guard with, well, what do you do? What do you do for a
Exactly.
living? Or, what value have you brought? I was sharing with you this week, Orlando. I was listening to a live from a founder, and he was saying, at one point his company went through a tough financial time, and he just called everyone into his office and was like, "What do you do? What value do you bring?" And anyone who could not answer that question was gone. It was like, if they had had the Career Accelerator Planner, they
Exactly.
would not have gotten
There you
caught with their yes, they would not have gotten caught off guard, because when you're called in like that, you're just like, whoa, what? Like, you do stuff,
Yep.
but can you even remember it? As Orlando said, in crucial conversations that sometimes you don't even get a chance to prepare for, right? So
Right.
you need to build the habit, build the discipline of tracking.
What's
Hello.
going on, Gabe? I appreciate you joining, sir. Yeah, I mean, that's so much value. Like,
Mhm.
even from the interview standpoint, and you was touching on that. If you're interviewing, right, and you start to you go through your book over and over, you're pulling out highlights in your career. When they're asking you some of those questions, what are some of the strengths? If what we learn new, I got it. There's a recent project that did X, Y, and Z on,
Mhm.
and I learned this, right? Some of the things I've overcame, even if the question comes, what are some strengths, areas of weakness, or areas of improvement? You can actually use that piece of the book in there to answer those questions, not just internally, but externally too. Again,
Yeah.
the value is endless on just the fundamental questions we put in there, because there's a reflection piece too, right? Where you start to
Yes.
just you have that chance to, mind dump everything personal,
Mhm.
emotional, anything that you've it, put in there or gone through that time. But again, everything is one versus you know a bunch of leaf pads, sticky notes. They blow
Yes.
away, they crumble up, they stick over your laptop screen or
Yeah.
desktop screen. You're like, what? What happened? What project? Oh my god! Yeah. So, and
Absolutely.
you try,
Yeah.
yeah, because you can't take your phone into an interview and try to look up your notes. You can't do that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, oh yeah, let me. It doesn't work.
Absolutely.
You can take your
Absolutely.
career accelerator planner and be like, great question, Bob or Mike or Sue, and just kind of
Yes.
bring that stuff to light.
That is such a good point. This is something where you can write your questions down for what you're going to ask your potential employer, but also it's your cheat sheet in a really handy and beautiful journal. We have a question. How do you feel about assessments that might help you define your career skills and function? I'm all
How do you
for
need
them
assessments?
personally.
Hmm.
Yes, I what I would caution against is taking a whole bunch. I kind of found my I guess, my companion assessment to be the strength finders. And
Hmm.
through my
Hmm.
organization, I've gone through many different assessments with leadership training and everything else.
Yeah.
But the one I come back to personally is strength finders. That's kind of my baseline. And that's what I encourage my clients and also my team members to do. Find a
Yeah, I would
baseline.
say exactly find a line. So I've taken finders and as well as work assessment, they were very similar. So I'm kind of
Mhm.
split down the middle with those two. But I would say, Gabe, if I'm understanding the question too, from a personal standpoint, yes, use that, right? That's value you can add and sell yourself into opportunities, both internal and external, if you're transitioning. But from an employer standpoint, that should not be the holy grail. It should be that
Mhm.
baseline that Karen talked about.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
Lasheen, how are you? Lashina,
I love that, Recruitalina. I love that. That's incredible. Thank you.
I hope you trademarked that. I mean, you hope you trademarked that, Lashina. So you've been having that for a
Yes.
while. So you better trademark that quick.
So, in
Oh man.
terms of who this planner is for, it's truly for anyone who's in a corporate environment, whether you
Mhm.
are a team member, a team leader, we're all team members. But if you're not necessarily a leader by title, it's perfect for you. If you are a leader by title, it is also for you, anyone in the corporate space. And, even if you want a place to track your progress. So if you're not in corporate, but you're doing your own thing, you're an entrepreneur, you're a founder, or you are self employed and you just want to track your progress for yourself. It's one thing that we talk about so often is imposter syndrome. And one of the ways to battle imposter syndrome is that we talk about regularly is to
Mhm.
write down what you have accomplished. And if you are writing down consistently what you have accomplished, that helps to remind you that you did not get to where you are by luck, that you have worked and you have developed the skill, the expertise, the network, the connections that you need to arrive to where you are today. So, without saying it's for everyone, it's for everyone
It is.
who's looking to remember the great things that they have done. I
It-
really want to dial down. We went back and forth on the format, what we were going to say, and we landed on the word initiative rather than project because project has
mhm.
a certain connotation. Initiative, it could be anything. And that's what we really want to encourage you to look at your daily tasks, your daily work, your daily responsibilities, not just the big flashy initiatives. Certainly write those down, celebrate them, but also to focus on, have you updated your organization's policies and procedures? Have you implemented something within, and I'm talking from a leadership perspective, or even not, because any of us can take initiative. Where have you taken initiative? Have you created a special type of coaching and counseling, for example, within
Mhm.
your department that you've shared with others? Who are you mentoring? Really look at your daily responsibilities, your daily tasks, and take credit for the work that you are doing. If you run really efficient meetings, talk about it. I talked about it in my podcast, Leadership Untitled. I talked about it in my podcast just this week, how to reclaim your time from with meetings, reclaim power over meetings. And if you have a process by which you can make meetings, for example, that much better, more efficient, more effective, you should be writing that
Mhm.
down and then sharing it with your colleagues. So be sure that you're taking credit, not just for the big, flashy projects that you've worked on, but also for the daily work that you do that moves your organization's vision forward. Yes. Love that. Available for
As we get
pre-order now.
more,
Yeah.
yep. I should have ran that from the beginning, but yep. But as we get granular in the value of it, right?
Yes.
Everyone, as you said earlier, everyone, anyone in corporate America, not hustle, mental thing, performance review, right? Looking at just what typically everyone will go through is a performance. Like I can stop talking there, but the value that will
Yeah.
happen after you collect months of projects and things that you have, there's even a section on, right? We talked about, well, even if you use the initiative questionnaire for something you started, that not an
Mhm.
assignment that was necessarily given to you, but something
Yeah.
you started, right? You can track all of that in there and just think how much more valuable that conversation would be and easy for you when you're your manager and saying, here's what I've done for the year. And here's why I'm asking for this promotion. Here's why I'm asking for this increase, right?
Ooh,
Or
yep.
exactly. And let's be honest, we're in the great resignation. Here's why I'm
Yes.
leaving because the value I bring in this book, I'm not being compensated or I'm not being valued based on the value I bring. So that's a completely different type of conversation when you have documented proof. Because let's be honest, your manager is not going to remember everything you've done, right?
No,
That
they don't
department head is
even
not going
know.
to remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
They're
hoping
not
you
just
did it
remember.
exactly. They're not. 25 people underneath them, if not more, whatever the case may be. They're not tracking
Yeah.
every single thing you were assigned. It's impossible. That's your job.
Yeah.
That's our job. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I will tell you from a leadership perspective, I had 5 managers reporting to me at one point, and that's not, a big number. They actually were dealing with the rest of the bulk of the team
Mhm.
that they had to do their evaluations for. And so even at 5, I was I I appreciated when they would come to a performance review, one having completed the self-evaluation, but having poured in everything that they did, because it would make my job that much easier. And I then also did that with the person who I
Mhm.
reported to, and made it really easy for them to say, in terms of a range for an increase, that they're going to push me to the top of the range. And I could advocate effectively for my team members when I made a recommendation for them to get at the top of the range of the possible annual increase. And it just helps because I don't know the day in and day out of what they do or what they were doing. And so it's
Exactly.
extremely helpful when you make it easier on the people who you are reporting to by bombarding them where
Yep.
they can't
Yep.
argue with you, by bombarding them with the things that you have done.
Exactly. And it's super beneficial. You're a leader and you have a team of 5, at least manageable for you, him or her, is
Yeah.
to buy several of these planners at one time and say,
Yes.
here, I'm empowering you guys to track your performance to make it easiasier, right?
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
crucial is that to be that rock star leader to be like, hey guys, I want to make sure you're valued. I appreciate the contributions you're bringing to the table, but let's make this more concrete. Let's
Yeah.
document it. Let's track it. This way I can fight for you. I'll become an advocate. And again, those, because as we know, those conversations go up. It's not the
Yeah.
first manager you talk to who says, "Great, I'm gonna give Karen 20K bonus or 20K increase." That
Yeah,
starts
I
tomorrow.
wish.
No, that's all got to get approved, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the more right, the more ammo he or she can
Mhm.
roll up and say, "Here's what my team has done. I have it all
Yeah.
documented." Right? They will extract it from the book and then put it
Mhm.
into a nice deck and be able to say, right, Mike, Tyler, Jr., Lashina has done this, Orlando has done that, Karen has done this. Their
Mhm.
value is spoken for, right?
Yeah,
But on the
absolutely.
flip side, if you're not performing, this is probably not the book for you
You know
because it'll
what? It's
remain
still
empty. Let's be honest.
no, no, it's still the book for you. I If you have not filled up this book or put one thing into it
it should have,
after a week, then you should come back and talk to us, and we
yeah.
can help you along that way. But
Don't
definitely,
present an empty book.
it'll be an eye opener, right? Like either you're not
Yep.
tracking if your book remains empty, or you're not living up to what you think you are. And
Hmm.
fortunately for so many of you who are listening today, I know it's the former, where you're just not recognizing the value that you are
Yep.
bringing, like your intellectual property, your intellectual
Right.
potential, that you're not recognizing that part of the work that you're doing. And you're just going in and expending a lot of energy to help someone else's vision grow. And it's okay to be the person who does that, but let's also be sure that you are being recognized for the work that you're doing. Yeah, Tyler said they definitely want a slide deck to prove you need a promotion. Absolutely. I've gone through a lot of slide decks for that, and I'm glad you said this is definitely helpful for someone like me who has a hard time remembering the accomplishments for the year. I'm glad that, like, that comment alone is the reason why we created it, is helping you to remember, so that if only at your performance evaluation you are prepared, but there are so many benefits outside of that too. Looking
Exactly. Because
at my list here. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I'm saying because we Tyler made a great point because we just kind of through the year, we'll see the project and take a quick exhale and just get right to the next one. 3 months later, you may have a midpoint career conversation,
Yeah.
or a a position is posted. You're like, man, I know I can do, and then no one remembers. No
Yeah.
one remembers what you've done.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Or you're up till, 1 or 2 in the morning trying to get everything onto a slide deck and remember everything you've done, if that were
exactly.
to be someone in this room.
Awesome. Yeah,
um,
so
as
definitely.
you mentioned, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to
Go
track
ahead.
back a little bit to what you said, that this is a
Yeah.
great gift for your
Hmm.
team. One, as I talk about building influence in kind of my sphere, this is an incredible way to build influence, trust with your team by sharing with them that you are empowering them to be the best that they can be to be successful. So, if you are looking to purchase, whether you are looking to purchase for team members, or as Orlando said, if it is something that you want to purchase for clients you are working with, who, if you
Yeah.
are a career coach or someone who writes resumes or a recruiter, we do have bulk purchasing available. So before you purchase, if you want, before you make your purchase, you can reach out to one of us, either DM us, and we will help you with that bulk purchase. So the nitty gritty
What?
details, this is a pre order.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
so I'm saying, as you're on that line there,
Mhm.
share the folks with the
Oh, yes.
affiliate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yes. And we also have an affiliate opportunity as well for you to join our program. We would like to get the planner into as many hands as possible. And, we can only do so much within our circle of influence, our network. And so we really want to partner with you, but understand that when you speak on our behalf, you are using your influence to help us grow. And so to recognize that, we do have an affiliate program, really easy to sign up for. And anyone who uses your link to purchase a planner, you will be compensated at $10. So $10 for every sale, which is incredible for a
Yep.
planner that is $24.95. That is the cost right now, the price of the planner right now. For this first week, we are offering the planner at $24.95. The price will increase next week. We're also offering free shipping on the planner. We
Correct.
understand it's a pre-order and that you're excited to get it into your hands. And so we want to say, as much as we can, thank you for purchasing now, so that we can continue to grow this community. And yeah, we recognize that it's a pre-order, and so we're doing as much as we can to help you make that decision.
Absolutely. And for the coaches and resume writers, right? It's not a sell that you're doing. It's the value add that you're offering. And for the
Mhm.
cost, I mean, it's minimal for you to
Yeah.
coach that person, give them an execution plan, and say, here's how you keep track of it.
Mhm.
Boom,
Yeah.
order the book, get it, you get paid for it on the back end. And it just continues to elevate, what you're offering to your clients too. You know how quick someone would turn around and just be like, oh my God, thank you for the coaching, the rewrite
Yeah.
of my resume. I got the opportunity 6 months later because I also kept track of my performance.
Mhm.
Book you suggested, uh, I got the promotion, right?
Yeah.
You're more apt to, yeah, let me make it into your normal cost. I mean,
Yeah.
have it as a normal purchase that comes with your coaching services. That's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So whether it's a gift, whether you're recommending it to your clients to purchase, we have got
Mhm.
you covered. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Also, when you purchase during this pre order, you will automatically be entered into our Career Accelerator Masterclass series, which normally we
Ooh.
would be offering at, yes, 97 for each of the courses. It's 3 classes, so a value of almost $300. Orlando, jump into the classes and what we will be sharing.
Yeah. So the first one will be sent around, bring your brand to work. So that's going to be a culmination of your personal slash professional brand, how to leverage, all the tools, the really show up at your workplace of work different than maybe what you're currently doing. The second one would be leveraging the LinkedIn platform, and we call it build a presence, not a
Hmm.
profile. Right? There's a lot of
Yes.
us that just have a profile on LinkedIn, but not a presence, and you're missing an opportunity. This platform has 100 million, a global platform. You need to use it if you're a corporate professional, even if you're entry level stepping into senior, right? You need to use this platform. And so we'll show you how to build a presence and not just a profile. And the last one is kind of the master of it, Ms. Turner, on negotiating salaries. Go ahead, give them a little
Yes.
taste of that one.
Yes, this is a passion of mine, talking about money, being free to talk about money, especially where women are concerned. Also, people of color, just with the expectation that we somehow have to be thankful or grateful for what we get, and we
Mm,
don't position ourselves. And so, during this masterclass, we will talk about the effective ways to negotiate your compensation. And because we'll talk a little bit about what to do when you're offered the job and that negotiation, but there's so much in that space already. There's not a lot of conversation that happens after you get the job. You're in the job, you've got your planner with you, and you're just like, okay, well, now I'd like to talk about how I need to move to the next level of compensation. So many of us think that once we get the job, that's it. We've lost our negotiating power. Certainly at the start, when you're negotiating before you begin, is when you have the most power. But once you accept the job, it doesn't go away. And this is a way to help you negotiate. So I talk about storytelling and all of the different elements that you need in order to negotiate a compensation, and once you are in a position, and then also too talking about how to have a conversation about a promotion as well.
correct. Like that's so much value. People may think, and that's the thing. I don't know if people really unpack the value of a planner. Well, definitely not
Yeah.
this one because it's the first of its kind,
Yeah.
as far as we know. And if there's something
Hmm.
else out there, again, it's the first of its kind as far as we know. But and that's what along with those master classes, right? We can coach you through how to really use it and leverage the
Yeah.
planner. Again, it's simple in nature but
Hmm.
powerful in use. And I think again, have that section where you're jotting down everything from a project standpoint or initiative standpoint, right? And then you're reflecting, or you have to post. What did you learn, et cetera, et cetera? Then you have that reflection. Wow, some additional. And let me add some additional notes, right?
Yeah.
And if you consistently are doing that over and over again, the resume you're building, because you can't dump everything the physical resume. You can't dump everything on LinkedIn, right? So
Hmm.
you need something else, because we're not going to say, okay, based on your profile or just based on your resume.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I have.
Yeah.
Who's that? Phyllis. Actually, the pre-orders are, you can pre-order now. We're hoping for a shipment within a month and a half to 2 months. Obviously, logistical things and things like that play to part. But actually place your order now if you see the website acceleratorplanner.com. So we appreciate you guys, for
Yeah.
joining us. And if you make a purchase, we would love that. But there's so much, right? And there's so much coaching we can provide behind it, but those master classes are going to be huge too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just amazing. I'm excited. Look,
Yeah,
I'm excited.
yeah. Yes. We also
Just the
have
value
other
we bring.
surprise, yes, it's true, it's
Yeah.
true. We also have other surprise bonuses, planned along the way as well, again, as
Mhm.
a thank you for, your trust in us, and as you place these pre-orders, we very much appreciate it. We are confident in the value that is being provided, and as you were talking about, we even have a page, Orlando, here, just future project ideas. As you
Right.
finish a project or as you're in the middle of a project, jogs your memory, or jogs your creativity. And you begin to think, well, what if we did this or this or this? So you've got a place to track what started what started that thought process. You can tie it to that project that you're working on or the initiative that you're working on, but also keeping track of it. And again, getting credit for the work that you're doing for your intellectual
Mhm.
property. And as you complete this journal, as you complete this planner, you your mind just begins to shift the way you think about the way you work, the way you approach an initiative. You might find yourself halfway through something thinking, I haven't made any connections or relationships. I haven't taken the time to
Right.
get to know someone new or build a relationship here. And so just even the questions being there can help to change your behavior and change how you go forward, change the things that you're asking for and that you're involved in. So yeah, I not being biased, but I think it's great from so many different angles,
It is.
in terms of shifting mindset
Yep.
about the way we show up for work. And of course, this can only benefit your organization as well.
Exactly. It's crucial because you said something really key. Because if you're a brand new leader, right, someone who just got into a leadership position, um, the relationship building piece and guaranteed your manager, your department head, or someone you report to will ask you at some point,
Yeah.
have you connected with X, Y, and Z?
Mhm.
Right. So it may not be an assignment assigned to you, but you can future projects. Let me schedule meetings with these 5 leaders over the course of the 6 months or 5 months, whatever the time frame it is. But you're tracking that, and then you're checking that off. So when that comes around, yes. But the key thing
Yeah.
is too that this book goes with you. Say your project never got off the ground at company A, and for some reason transition mode, take those to company B.
Yeah.
Sell those snippets of visions of ideas, what you would bring to the table at company
Mhm.
B, C, and D, and see who values that to bring you in. Like,
Yeah.
it's tremendous how we can leverage this book just by
Yeah.
what it only works if you use it. You have to use it
Yeah.
the way you
Yes.
to make a purchase. Buy your
Absolutely.
book,
Yes,
right?
yes. Phyllis, I'm sorry to hear that you haven't been able to, oh, because you're watching from your phone, not because there's an issue with the
Okay.
website. I understand. Yes. So on the website, we the best place for the preview is you can go to my LinkedIn account, or if you're watching on Facebook as well, anyone who's watching on Facebook, there are pictures of what the inside of the book looks like. But this is the planner right here. This is what the planner looks like, in addition to, again, you've got to keep it nice and neat. On the inside, we have areas for you to document your initiatives as well as writing your notes. We have pre-initiative details. So just what is the initiative, who is involved, and then we also have prompts for what happened after you completed whatever the initiative is. What new relationships did you build? What challenges did you overcome? As I just shared, and also Orlando, there is a place to document your reflections, what you've learned, and you can do that, of course, throughout the initiative,
Mhm.
and then any future project ideas that came to your mind, or that just, even if they're not related to a specific initiative, there's places for you to track. This journal is 200 pages. Yep, it is. Well, it's
Yeah, about 200.
199 pages. Yeah, 200
Right.
pages. At the back, there's also a place for you, a couple of pages, 3 to 4 pages, also for you to write any notes in case the blank pages in between, the notes pages in between, aren't enough. So hopefully that gives you an overview of what to expect. It's incredibly compact. Here you go. It's incredibly compact, excellent quality of the feel. I shared yesterday when I went to get this sample, I got stuck in the rain. And so here in Florida, it was raining. It held up incredible, even though it got a little bit wet. The pages to me feel good. That's like a weird thing, but if you are someone who
Yeah.
has a thing about
Who
touch,
likes
the
quality?
pages
Yeah.
feel really good. Yeah, they're very high quality. I've just been flipping the pages here. So hopefully that answers that question. And if you have any more, again, please continue to feel free to ask us and to reach out.
One
Anything
other
else,
thing in
Orlando?
there. Yeah, two more things. If not, I know because we can talk about it all night.
Yes, we could.
Quote, right? There's one in there consistently, and here was the thinking behind that. It's the quote. If I remember, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
If your plan fails, change the plan, but not the goal. Something
yeah,
along those lines.
yeah, you're right.
So the reason of that, right? If you consistent, so I want you guys to be motivated each time you're going through these projects, whether they can get completed or not. You're looking down and be like, if the plan, if your plan fails, change the plan, not the goal. You should have a goal in mind, right? To whether it's go to the next level, get promoted, get an increase, whatever that is, keep moving along. So that's a constant reminder for you to not change the goal, just the plan, because the plan can change either by you or by your employer, right? Things you can start an initiative and it gets canceled for whatever reason, and you're like, man, I was about to kill it on what you've done so far up until that moment,
Yeah,
right? That again, that goes with you. The
yeah.
second thing is what was I? Oh man, what I was going to say? Oh, God dog it, I forgot.
Well, now I'm so curious to
I
know.
forgot. I know. What was it? Typically, I write down podcasts. I write little notes to jot down to remind me. So it wasn't about that, but the order, the pre-order, the quote, the feel of the book. Oh, it was just a note. When Karen came and picked up the book, which is funny. It was the first time you and I had
Oh,
met
yeah. Yes,
in
that's so
person.
true. Yes, we met in
So we've worked
person.
together.
Yes.
We've been collaborating since last year. I said months ago,
Mhm,
but my
mhm.
memory is bad. That's why the book is valuable, right? Collaborating all the time. And was it Tuesday? Tuesday
It was
or
no, it was
Wednesday? Yes,
yesterday,
yesterday.
Orlando.
God,
It was yesterday.
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow like when are out. When did that happen?
It was yesterday.
But
We literally met yesterday afternoon for the first time in person to do the handoff of the sample that we have. And
right,
yeah, it was incredible meeting you. And I'm glad that we had a chance to do that before we launched, even if it was just the day before we launched. But yeah, that's the beauty of technology. It's sometimes incredibly frustrating, but for the most part, it can lead to some incredible outcomes. And I think this is one of them. The Career Accelerator Planner is definitely one of them.
absolutely, absolutely. When
All right.
I'll pose a question to us, put when it comes to the
Oh, yeah.
digital version.
Mm.
When would you like? Share with us, folks. Right, if you prefer,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
the hard copy. Right, leave it in the
Yeah.
comments. Shoot us a DM to either one of us, or put us in a joint conversation. We'll be happy to chat with you. If you
Yeah.
prefer the digital, PDF editable version, uh, I can't talk. Um,
Yes. Yes.
or just a physical copy. Either way, we're gonna supply both, right? We'll supply both.
Yes, but we'd love to know in terms of priority. So as
Yeah,
I shared, this entire cabinet is full of old journals that I never throw out. I have 4 active journals right now, planners. So I am very much about handwriting and having something on the go that I don't require any internet or anything for, just pen and paper. But we understand that this is a digital world. And so if it is something that you would find incredible value. Even if you've purchased the physical copy, let us know the priority of having a digital copy available.
absolutely, absolutely. I don't think I have anything else. What
Okay.
about you?
Well, if there are no more questions, then this has been a lot of fun. We said we are going to keep it to half an hour, but as Orlando said, we can talk about the planner all night long. It is definitely a passion project for us. We believe in the value that it is providing. We priced it so that it is readily available. You will find that most planners on the market are in the $50 range, 50 45 to even like to the $50 range. And so we have priced it at $24.95, knowing the incredible value, knowing that your compensation can significantly increase or your negotiating power significantly increases. And so we hope that you go ahead and purchase it. If it's not for you, we totally get it, but we ask you to share. If you can share it with your networks, and we do have an affiliate program available that will also help you to partner with us financially, where anyone who uses the link you will be able to earn $10 for each of those purchases. All right, I think that's the
Absolutely.
overview. Yeah.
Last and final pitch, I would say, for universities, right? Your college grads.
Oh my
What a cool
goodness.
thing to walk into corporate with this book, knowing from day one you're tracking everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a provost
Yeah.
or president of a university, you need to be getting with us and do the bulk
Yes.
discount purchase for your entire graduating, students.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
huge,
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
All right. So appreciate
Absolutely.
Karen.
Thank you. I
You
appreciate
say
you
the final
too.
word.
Thank you to everyone for coming
And
out and joining us for
yep.
this live launch party, for your questions. Thank you, Orlando. I'm incredibly happy to have met you. And thank you for for including me in your incredible idea and helping to bring that to life.
Our idea, and we're going to kill it, providing
Yes.
much value to folks. And if you guys didn't see the promo video, we're going to play it again right now. But we are
As we
out
head
of
out.
here.
Bye, everyone.